Welcome to Kids Storytime with Toys. Today we're playing with Lilo and Stitch again and reading all about how manners matter. Stitch needs to learn some lessons. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up and let's take a closer look at our toys. We have Stitch ready to make some moves in his hula skirt, Lilo ready to go to a luau, and Stitch being silly. Let's go ahead and give us a thumbs up and take a closer look at this book and play as we read today. Lilo, Nani, and Stitch were enjoying a nice breakfast one day. Stitch stuffed his mouth full of fluffy pancakes. As he chewed, he demanded syrup. Then he slurped down his guava juice and let out a loud burp. Stitch, that's a lot of poor table manners in the last 10 seconds, Nani said. Manners? Stitch asked around a large bite of pineapple. Burped loudly and forgot to say excuse me. Manners are how we treat each other, Nani explained. Good manners show the respect and care about the people around us. Stitch shrugged. The rules couldn't be that important, right? Forgot to say please and thank you. But then Nani said, at the potluck luau on Saturday, all the guests will be at their best manners. Maybe you're not ready to attend. I'll teach him, Lilo said. I have an idea that will help. A manners book. Lilo reached for a notebook and started scribbling suggestions. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Perfect timing for your first lesson, Stitch, Lilo declared, welcoming with aloha. First you smile, then you give a handshake. Here in Hawaii, we sometimes give a shaka sign too. Lilo ran to open the door. Welcome, David. Please come in, Lilo said with a big smile. She reached out to shake his hand. I'm teaching Stitch super important manners. Ah, got it, David said. Good luck, Stitch. We all need to learn and relearn manners. Stitch felt overwhelmed. How could he learn all these important manners by Saturday? Everyone headed to the supermarket. I told the macadangdangs that we'd pick up some ingredients for them too, Nani said. Being helpful is another way to show good manners, Lilo told Stitch. Nani and David pushed the shopping cart around the store. When they accidentally bumped into other carts, they apologized. Excuse me, so sorry. Lilo saw Myrtle, one of her classmates. When Myrtle spotted Lilo and Stitch, she turned her nose up and walked away in a huff. Before they could react to Myrtle's rudeness, Nani announced, Done! We have everything on the list. Stitch rushed to the cash register. He didn't notice that he had cut in front of several other shoppers. No, Stitch, we have to wait our turn, Lilo said. To be patient. Try taking deep breaths, David said. Stitch breathed deeply and started to relax. The group walked to the macadangdang's house. Learning manners can be tricky, Lilo said, but if you practice, it'll get easier. David rang the doorbell and said, Hello? It's Nani and David, a voice called back. Come in and make yourselves at home. Excited by the invitation, Stitch ran inside and jumped on the couch. He helped himself to a bowl of potato chips and turned on the television. Stitch, what are you doing? Lilo asked. Make at home, Stitch replied. That's just a saying, Nani said. It means to sit down and relax, not act like you really live here. Oh, Stitch mumbled as the macadangdangs entered the living room. Stitch very sorry, he said. How to make right? Apology accepted, Mr. Macadangdang said. Maybe you could clean up a bit. Stitch zipped around the room, sweeping up crumbs, putting the remote back, and fluffing up the pillows. Nice, said Freddie Macadangdang. Stitch smiled with relief. Cleaned up his messes. When they returned home, Lilo said, I'm proud of you, Stitch. You learned a lot of lessons today. The praise made Stitch feel great. Maybe he could get the hang of good manners after all. Over the next few days, Stitch worked hard to learn many kinds of manners. Even their friend, Mr. Bubbles, noticed Stitch's progress. In the park one day, Mr. Bubbles told Stitch, a good citizen is also honest and responsible, someone who finds peaceful ways to solve problems. Just then, Myrtle and her poodle, Cashmere, walked by. Myrtle made a face at Lilo. As one of Stitch's teachers, you could show him how to handle people you don't get along with, Mr. Bubbles said to Lilo. Lilo stayed quiet, watching Myrtle walk away. That night, before the potluck luau, Nani, Lilo, and Stitch prepared hopia, a traditional coconut pudding. Stitch, are you ready for tomorrow? Nani asked. Stitch nodded and helped him, his manners book. Nani smiled. Okay, just remember to treat everyone with respect, understanding, and kindness. At the luau, laughter, music, and smell of delicious food filled the air. Although they were excited, Lilo and Stitch greeted everyone politely. Then they got in line and waited for their turn to eat, even though Stitch was very hungry. Good job being patient, Stitch, Lilo whispered encouragingly. Once they had filled their plates, Lilo and Stitch sat with Freddy and his family. Here, try our lumpia, Freddy said, offering Stitch a spring roll from his plate. Thanks, Freddy, Stitch said. In return, he offered to share his hopia. Everyone beamed at Stitch's good behavior. Just then, Stitch noticed Myrtle and her poodle. Wanting to show his good manners, Stitch approached them with a plate of hopia. On his way there, he stumbled over a tree root. Up flew the hopia and splat! The dessert landed on Cashmere's head. So sorry, Stitch said, trying to brush the hopia off Cashmere. Get away from us, Myrtle shrieked at him. Lilo rushed to defend Stitch. It was an accident. He's the rudest dog I've ever met, Myrtle said. Stitch has worked really hard on his manners, Lilo said. You're the one who's being rude. Stitch remembered all the lessons he had learned. He grabbed a lei and draped it around Cashmere's neck. The poodle loved the flowers. Stitch handed another lei to Lilo. Treat everyone with respect, he whispered. Myrtle, maybe we can, Lilo started. Get along today, Myrtle finished. Nodding, Lilo placed the lei around Myrtle's neck. Thanks to Stitch, Lilo said, I guess I still have lessons to learn about manners too. Nani gathered Lilo and Stitch into a hug. I'm proud of you both, she said. Stitch smiled. With the support of his ohana, he had learned the most important manner of all. Treat everyone with love in your heart.